Welcome to the Kherson region, a unique, picturesque and hospitable land that has not only a glorious history, but also great prospects for further development and prosperity. Today, the Kherson region is in a completely new stage of its development. The local authorities have ambitious aspirations and a distinct plan for their realization, multiplying abundant resources and great human potential to create a strong and competitive economy. The realization of these intentions is impossible without the participation of local and foreign investors in the development of the Kherson region. We consider all investors as our associates, and together we can make the Kherson region one of the most developed Ukrainian regions for business, life, and recreation. In this presentation, we have gathered information about all of the local economic investment opportunities that are in the process of realization. We hope that you discover something interesting and that it will be the first step in your exploration of the Kherson region. A lot of discoveries are waiting for you here. Our amazing Tavria region will charm you with its natural beauty, primordial perfection, and endless opportunities. Geographical location and transport infrastructure. The Kherson region is situated in the southern part of Ukraine, within the Black Sea basin. The geographical location of the region is more than favorable. It is bordered in the northwest by the Mykolaiv region, in the north by the Dnipropetrovsk region, in the east by the Zaporizhia region, and in the south by the Autonomous Republic of Crimea. The Kherson region has significant logistical potential. It has an international airport, a well-developed railway network, and commercial seaports, as well as river passenger and cargo ports. Two international transport corridors pass through the Kherson region. The Black Sea Economic Cooperation forms traffic flows to and from the Middle East and the Balkans, and the Euro-Asian transport flow comes from Europe through the Black Sea ports to Crimea, the countries of the Caucasus, and the East. The geographical location makes our region the most promising for both business and leisure. The Kherson region has a well-developed road infrastructure that offers bus service to all boroughs of the region, so tourists can easily access all local recreational and historical areas. The top priority industries for regional development are agriculture, logistics, tourism, and recreation. Today, about 90 enterprises, institutions, and organizations are operating in the transportation industry, including 2 state commercial seaports, 2 river ports, which are currently run by joint stock companies, 1 state railway enterprise, 2 airlines, and more than 80 other businesses that transport passengers and cargo. There are more than 17,000 employees in the transportation industry. 32 different carriers are responsible for passenger transportation across interregional bus routes. The regional route network currently consists of 464 interurban and suburban interregional bus routes. Water transport. The center of Kherson's maritime transportation infrastructure is the state enterprise Kherson Commercial Seaport, situated on the right bank of the Dnipro River, 26 kilometers from the Dnipro-Bug estuary. The port has a 68-kilometer canal, connecting it to the Black Sea that runs along the Dnipro River, 28 kilometers, and the Dnipro-Bug estuary, 40 kilometers. The Kherson Commercial Seaport is open to vessels year-round. The port is capable of handling ships up to 200 meters long, with drafts up to 7.6 meters. There are 10 berths, equipped with portal cranes with lifting capacities of 5 to 20 tons. There are also berths of a grain elevator and harbor vessels. The port specializes in the reshipment of mineral and chemical fertilizers and their storage in bulk or in containers, in covered warehouses, on open grounds, and on floating vessels. The production capacity of the port allows it to handle up to 4.5 million tons of cargo annually. This year, we are planning to continue the second phase of the grain terminal expansion. It will increase the processing capacity of grain cargo by 550 kilotons per year. The total cost of the project is 30 million hryvnia. Considering the convenient location of the enterprise and the necessity of its development as a primary regional logistical center for additional traffic flows, it is important to re-equip and expand the infrastructure of the port in accordance with the world trends for water transportation development. The state enterprise Khodovsk Commercial Seaport is a port on the banks of Jaralgadj Bay of the Black Sea. There are 5 berths with a total length of 800 meters. There is a hoisting crane with a lifting capacity of up to 21 tons. It has 6 port vessels. The main port specialization is the ferry service between Skadovsk and Zonguldak, Turkey. To increase the productivity of its operation, the access channel has been dredged a further 6 meters. The third berth wall has been reconstructed according to modern ferry standards of Ro-Ro, and a turnaround for TIR cars has been built in the backside of the berth. This modernization has made the port more multifunctional, and it has increased its capacity by up to 2,500 TIR per month. The core businesses are the processing of citrus cargoes as well as TIR transportation. The port structure includes the port point Korli, situated on the Karkinit Bay of the Black Sea, covers 2.72 square kilometers with 0.75 square kilometers utilized at present. The total port water area is 23.98 square kilometers. The core business processes were sand extraction and shipment. SK Ukarechflot Kherson River Port. Kherson River Port is a large traffic center where river, sea, rail, and road transportation converge. The river port provides access to 2 seas. This is the only Dnipro river port capable of handling vessels year-round. Kherson River Port has 7 freight berths and a capacity of 900 loading meters, 24.8 square kilometers of storage area, 10 bridges, and 4 floating cranes. The port specializes in handling import-export cargoes, which arrive from the Mediterranean and Black Sea regions, countries of the Danube Basin, and from the Dnipro River. The main cargoes are scrap metal, fertilizers, mineral and building materials, coal, and wood. The technical capacities of the port allow it to handle up to 1.5 million tons of cargo annually. Consequently, there are many opportunities for the development of an inland waterway service as an inexpensive and profitable mode of transportation. The length of the public railways, running through 38 cities, 76 districts, and 82 settlements, is over 900 kilometers. It covers the transportation needs of the Kherson and Mykolaiv regions, as well as the Autonomous Republic of Crimea. It carries over 3 million people and 4 million cargo units annually. The air gateway to the Kherson region is the Kherson International Airport. After a long hiatus, the airport resumed its activities and the strategic infrastructure of the airfield started functioning once again. The Enterprise Kherson Airport received all of the certification necessary for regular domestic and international flights. Kherson International Airport occupies an area of almost 3 square kilometers. That includes a 2.5-kilometer runway, high-speed taxiways, branch taxi tracks, a radio facility, and a control tower. The airport is able to handle airplanes such as the Boeing 737, the Airbus 319, 320, and 321, as well as helicopters of all types. The air terminal includes a passenger terminal, business hall, and a general passenger terminal. The clearance capacity allows registering 400 passengers and up to 30 tons of freight simultaneously. The distance from the airport to the regional center is only 11 kilometers. The airport provides air transportation service, airfield service, services for special transportation and aircraft security, a medical center, a customs station, and phytosanitary control. Today, the airport provides passenger operations between Istanbul and Kherson for Turkish Airlines 7 times a week. During the first quarter of 2015, there were 60 regular flights carrying over 11,000 passengers. The airport infrastructure is capable of increasing the number of regular and charter flights by attracting airlines for domestic and international flights. The airport will be able to attract people from Kherson, as well as from the Zaporizhia, Dnipropetrovsk, Mykolaiv, and Kirovograd regions, and Crimea, a market of over 6 million people. Prospective flight routes include Kiev, Sharm el-Sheikh, Antalya, Tashkent, Warsaw, Munich, and Verona. The airport has great potential for further modernization and development, including the construction of additional platforms for aircrafts and a terminal for cargo handling. The main advantages of the Kherson Airport are a favorable location. There are international transport corridors and health resort areas nearby. Technical features that are ideal for the expansion of passenger and freight traffic and the creation of a logistical center. 17 air corridors. Competitive pricing. The possibility to land airplanes for refueling. Full-scale airport operation will significantly expand the capabilities of the Kherson region in the development of tourism, the resort industry, and international trade and cooperation. Competent labor and significant scientific potential. The total population of the region is over 1 million people, with 61% urban residents. The Kherson region is the 7th biggest region in the country and the 19th most populated. There is a workforce of over 458,000 people. 30% are employed in agriculture, 20% in trade, 10% in industry, construction, and education. The unemployment rate is 2.3%. The average salary is 2,617 hryvnia. 56.5% of the population have higher education degrees. 24% have vocational qualifications. "26 vocational schools with more than 36,000 students operate in the region. The Kherson region has a number of advantages for the development of tourism, industry, and agriculture. There is a low population density in the resort territories, which provides the opportunity for the development of ecotourism for investors. For tourists, the ability to spend holidays in quiet, secluded places away from the bustle and pollution is very appealing. There is a high urban population offering a large pool of qualified workers for commercial and industrial sectors. Agricultural complex. The Kherson region is the granary of Ukraine. The agro-industrial complex is the most developed sector of the region's economy. The geographical location of the region and the availability of large amounts of agricultural land with its rich black soil determines the stable and swift development of the agricultural sector. There are 17,779 square kilometers of arable land, 5.5% of the whole arable land in Ukraine. The focus of the agricultural sector is on the production of grain legumes, industrial and forage crops, vegetables and watermelons, viticulture, horticulture, and animal husbandry, particularly dairy farming. These food sources form the basis of the region's agricultural export. The value of the region's agricultural product output in 2014 was over 10 billion hryvnia, with crop production at 7.7 billion hryvnia and livestock at 2.6 billion. Available agricultural land is about 20,000 square kilometers, 90% of which is arable. The Kherson region has the largest area of irrigated land in Ukraine, almost 20% of the Ukrainian total. Today, agricultural, hunting, and forestry enterprises have attracted over $16 million in direct foreign investment, a 300% increase over the early 2000s. During 2014, the agricultural sector received 600 million hryvnia, a quarter of the entire capital investment in the region. The Kherson region is the largest producer of grain in Ukraine and provides 3.4% of the national volume of grain cultivation. Annually, the region yields up to 2 million tons of grain and more than 500 kilotons of industrial crops. Grain production in the region exceeds regional needs by 1,400%. The sunny Kherson region is also a leader in rice cultivation. The Kherson region is the country's leader in crop production, particularly fruit and vegetable cultivation. In 2014, vegetable growers harvested about 1.5 million tons of fruit and vegetable crops. The Kherson region was the primary region for vegetable crops in 2014. It is the indisputable leader in the production of tomatoes, providing record yields and the highest quality product available. As a result, the central focus of the region is on the marketing and processing of agricultural products, the development of the appropriate infrastructure, and the attraction of investment. Our region was able to obtain such significant harvest rates due to the effective use of irrigated lands and the implementation of drip irrigation. Kherson's drip irrigated areas account for nearly 60% of the national total. The effective use of land reclamation for underused and unused farmland will allow us to yield up to an additional 3 million tons of fruit, vegetable and melon crops annually in the near future, and bring the total volume of gross agricultural output to 8 billion hryvnia. Horticulture and viticulture also holds an important place in the development of plant cultivation in the region. There are 88 square kilometers of gardens and 60 square kilometers of vineyards in the Kherson region. Winemaking is also developing as an important part of this industry sector. In 2014, 36 kilotons of grapes were processed, an amount that is higher than the average Ukrainian yield by 15%. One of the key wineries in Ukraine, where for more than a century the best winemakers have been working, is the House of Vintage Cognacs Tavria, located in Novokakhovka. It produces original vintage Ukrainian cognacs, produced in an enterprise with a full cycle of cognac production, from growing its own grapes, production of wine base, processing of alcohol, aging in oak barrels for at least 6 years, and bottling. Today, Tavria produces 4 internationally recognized varieties. The only historical chateau in Ukraine is Prince Trubetskoy Winery in the Bereslav region. The enterprise grows different varieties of grapes for production of dry wines. Prince Trubetskoy Winery produces wines only from the grapes grown in their own vineyards, without additives, and they can guarantee the quality control at all stages of wine production. The agricultural company Bilazersky is a leader of grape nursery enterprises in Ukraine. The company meets the farm's needs for prospective grape grades, not only in the south of Ukraine, but also in other regions of the country. Today, the company focuses on 4 priority areas: viticulture, horticulture, winemaking, and seedling. 1/3 of fruits and vegetables grown by agricultural producers is sent for processing. Today, the 11 largest Ukrainian enterprises specializing in fruit and vegetable processing work in the Kherson region. Their processing capacity is from 20 to 2,000 tons per day. A good example of the successful work in the horticultural processing field is in Agra, with a capacity of 200 kilotons of tomatoes per year. Additionally, the internationally recognized Chumak has a processing capacity of 70 kilotons per season. It exports its high-quality products to Canada, Russia, the USA, Kazakhstan, Spain, Georgia, Israel, the Baltic countries, and other world markets. The range of goods includes tomato derivatives, such as sauces, ketchups, and tomato paste, as well as pasta, sunflower oil, and canned vegetables. Finally, the horticultural plant Kherson recycles 12 kilotons of fruit and vegetables per year, using technologies that allow extracting the maximum amount of vitamins and minerals for fruit and vegetable juices and sauces. The final objective of plant cultivation is the efficient realization of output and optimization of distribution channels. Two of the most important elements of this infrastructure are the Nebulon water terminal and Green Team storage facilities. Having a 175 kiloton capacity, Nebulon is a leading company in exporting cereal and oil crops. The Green Team, based in the Kakhovka area, has the biggest storage facilities in Europe, with over a 50 kiloton capacity. Working with only the best farmers in the region, the company is a leader in Kherson vegetable supply. And starting next year, the capacity of its storage facilities will expand to 100 kilotons. Our region has limitless agricultural potential, with much unused capacity waiting for investment. Unused objects in the food and processing industries, unoccupied state-owned and communal land parcels, land shares, and unused industrial purpose lands. The attraction of investment in these businesses will increase their productivity and profit potential. Livestock farming is another priority sector in the region's agricultural economy, producing more than 25% of gross output. Like other agricultural sectors, it holds a dominant position in Ukraine. Our livestock farming has many sectors: dairy cattle husbandry, beef cattle breeding, and pig, sheep, and poultry breeding. Our dairy cattle husbandry is one of the leading enterprises in livestock farming. There are more than 114.2 thousand head of cattle in the region, including 71,500 cows. Milk production accounts for approximately 30%